navigate to Manage Records menu. Click Datasheet Forms. These 3 buttons will open specialized forms that display records in a datasheet format. The primary use for these specialized forms is for making bulk deletes of records. You cannot add a new record using these forms, however, you can edit existing records. Click Private Recipe Records to display a datasheet view of all the recipes in your record set that are currently labeled as private or non-public recipes. If you want, you can change the width of a column by selecting like this and dragging. You can also make any other adjustments as appropriate. To delete one of the recipes or a bunch of recipes, just make a selection. You can also make bulk selections by holding down the left mouse and dragging, or select Shift Select. Note the little drop-down control at the top of each column. This lets you sort and filter the column. For example, let's suppose that we want to just see Bob Jones fried rice. Select that and click OK. To unfilter, click this button. Another example in this one, we'll unselect all, and I just want to see recipes that have not been turned into an ingredient. Okay, looks like I only got a couple. We'll unfilter. One good use for this filter urine capability is to find recipes that have a keyword in the name, so we'll open this. Go to Text Filters, and when you click on Contains, I'm going to type in chicken, then hit the Enter key. I only have 3 recipes that have the name chicken in their name. I'll unfilter. You'll notice in the area of Record Selector lower left corner, there is no button to add a new record. To work with one of the recipe records in this list, but do so in the main form, select the recipe for this example. I'll pick chicken pot pie. Copy the highlighted name to the clipboard control. C. Go back to the menu. Click your last meal. Open this drop-down Control V Enter key, and there's the recipe. When finished, close with the stop sign, go back to your datasheet form. When you're finished working with the Recipe Records datasheet form, close it with the small X. Click Private Meal Records to open the datasheet view of all your non-public meal records in your record set. The primary use of this form is to make bulk deletes of records. Over time, the number of meal records in your record set will grow substantially. Deleting old meals will greatly improve database performance. A typical use would be to select all meals older than 1 year and delete them all. It's very rare that you would want to relook or examine old meal records. If you'd like to look at a meal in the main form based on what you see in this form, select a meal for this example. We'll go to breakfast on the 10th of December. Select the date field, copy it to your clipboard, Control-C. Go back to the menu. Click View Last Meal. Use this drop-down to paste the date, Control-VI. We want to define breakfast. Select it. When you're finished working with the main form, close it with a stop sign. When finished working with the Meal Records datasheet form, close it with the small X. Click Exercise Records to display a datasheet view of all your exercise records. The primary use for this form is to make bulk deletes of old exercise records you no longer want. Notice that you cannot add a new record, however, you can edit existing records. However, you should only edit exercise records directly in the appropriate exercise log form. When finished working with the Exercise Records datasheet form, close it with the small X.